past midday. We are just leaving Brixham marina. But lovely restful night in quite possibly the poshest marina I've ever been to. And we're heading out on the motor now, hopefully going to pick up some wind and head for Exeter. Make sure it's heated this time. Especially having it rigged the way. Yeah.
We stopped in Teignmouth for lunch that day. Just went into the river, which was quite hard to get into because there was a lot of tide flowing against us, so we had to floor the engine to get round the corner. Got in, tied up to a mooring buoy and had some lunch there. There's a ferry that goes from one side of the river to the other at Teignmouth, and the seagulls are obviously very familiar with this ferry because the seagulls would fly in, land on the ferry and catch a ride across the river. No, that...
Yeah, so after we left Teignmouth, really short little hop over to Exmouth. It was a definite example of why you need to keep your charts updated. It looked like you could just sail straight in, but there's a massive sort of sandbank, and even with updated charts on Navionics, we found the centreboard was touching quite a lot in places where it said we should have had plenty of water. Once you get a bit further in, you get between the markers, you're all right at that point. Looked like it should have been straightforward and Yeah, it took a little bit of doing.
Coming into Exmouth now, the River Ex, which is going to be our last destination on this trip. Wind's picked up just as we're getting in here, so it's nice to be getting in somewhere sheltered. Plan is we'll have a little look around the River Ex and then we're into the marina overnight, ready to make an early start tomorrow morning to collect the car and trailer from Falmouth. The sun's out now, so it's very picturesque and lovely to be out.
So I have to say, this is the first time in my life I've been to a pub that has life raft.
And then that was it really. We headed back into Exmouth Marina, stopped there overnight, and that was the end of our trip. We were conveniently at a place with a train station, so we could get the train all the way back to Falmouth, go and pick up the car and trailer, and then recover the next morning in Exmouth. So yeah, all in all, we had a very varied trip. Given the quite changeable and quite rough conditions at times, we had a really nice trip.
It was definitely an exercise in not being precious about your plans. The number of times we planned something and then just threw it out of the window and started again, that definitely made it so we got the best out of the trip. I mean, the trip itself was meant to be in Scotland. Given that we ended up in Cornwall, it kind of set the scene for the whole event, really.
Hopefully next time we will actually get to Scotland.
Fingers crossed.